If the images circulating are accurate, the Tesla Model 2 will arrive as one of those cars that makes us scratch our heads and wonder, how did they do that? The launch, scheduled for November 2025, promises to shake up not only the market, but also Tesla's very identity. Everything indicates a bold strategy, cutting whatever is possible without compromising what really matters. Delivering an electric car for just $15,990. But that price isn't just a drop in the ocean. To get there, the list of changes is extensive, 21 in total compared to the Model Y, and each tells a story of choices that will generate heated debate. From removing the panoramic glass roof to swapping the vegan leather seats for fabric, every detail seems calculated to reduce costs without killing the car's appeal. In terms of design, one of the most noticeable differences will be at the front. The Model 2 is expected to ditch the LED light bar that gives the Model Y its sophisticated look, opting for a simpler headlight assembly with headlights positioned slightly higher. It may not have the same futuristic charm, but it will help keep the budget in check. At the rear, the design is similar. No continuous light bar, just more conventional taillights. It's a look that, for some, may seem like a step backward, but for others, it will signal that Tesla is finally ready to join the affordable car team. And if you're going to put an electric car from the brand in your garage for that price, many will jump at the chance. Inside, the story doesn't change much. Less is more, at least on paper. The number of speakers will drop from 15 to about 10, even eliminating the tweeters in the A-pillars. Ambient lighting will be limited to white, with no colorful RGB to play with. The fabric seats will no longer require heating or ventilation. It may seem like a step backward for those accustomed to Tesla's premium standard, but this simplicity has a clear purpose: to reduce production costs and allow the car to exist at this price point. It's a cut that, honestly, doesn't compromise the driving experience, but it changes the experience for those who value luxury. The panoramic glass roof, for example, has always been a Tesla hallmark. In the Model 2, it will be gone, replaced by a solid panel painted in the same body color. This will undoubtedly affect the feeling of spaciousness inside, but it will also reduce high manufacturing and maintenance costs. And, thinking about it, in hot regions, it might even be a relief to have less heat coming in. Perhaps it's a trade-off many people will happily accept, especially since, in this segment, the priority tends to be functionality, not ostentation. A curious decision is that the Model 2 will retain some expensive-to-produce elements, such as the front-facing camera in the bumper, a sign that the car will support full self-driving, albeit optional. This shows that Elon Musk seems unwilling to compromise on the brand's technological DNA, even when the proposal is to deliver a base model. It's as if to say, yes, it's a cheaper Tesla, but it's still a Tesla. This retention of key features may be precisely what makes the car stand out among so many entry-level competitors. Overall, the Model 2 won't just come as a shrunken, stripped-down Model Y. It will be a direct reflection of a philosophy: simplify without losing identity. Of course, for those who dreamed of a radical new design, disappointment may hit hard. But for those simply looking to enter the Tesla world, this feature reduction will be just a minor detail. The bet is that the combination of price, name, and technology will still be irresistible to many. And if sales bear this out, perhaps the public will even get used to this new, leaner face. Even with the visible feature cuts, what's striking is that the Model 2 isn't expected to lose much in terms of physical presence. Leaked images and videos suggest the car will have surprisingly similar proportions to the Model Y, something that deviates from expectations for an entry-level model. The 19-inch wheels, a sleek hood, and a body that appears to maintain a good stance indicate that Tesla isn't planning to launch a mini-electric limited to urban use. This alone could be one of the biggest selling points when purchasing a car, as interior space and a sense of robustness often weigh heavily on consumers' minds. Maintaining a wheelbase similar to the Model Y, if confirmed, will mean more than just legroom and headroom. It also means a trunk capable of handling family trips without drama, something rare in affordable models in the electric segment. And that's not all. Generous interior space allows Tesla to apply its renowned engineering of intelligent cabin utilization, with solutions like extra compartments and a completely flat floor, which always wins over those who need versatility in their daily lives. Essentially, it's as if Tesla is saying, "Want to pay less? Great, but it won't be cramped." Seat. This decision to maintain spacious dimensions can be seen as a direct message to competitors like the BYD Dolphin and other compact electric cars that focus on low cost but sacrifice space. In the case of the Model 2, the appeal will be to offer a car that manages to be both family-friendly and affordable. This not only increases the range of potential customers, but also creates a barrier for buyers to migrate to other brands. Those accustomed to comfortable travel are unlikely to return to a smaller car. Of course, maintaining a similar size to the Model Y raises questions about weight and aerodynamics. Tesla will likely use solutions to compensate for this, such as greater use of lightweight materials and design tweaks to reduce drag. The idea is to maximize efficiency without resorting to a tiny body. This philosophy aligns with what Elon Musk has stated many times. There's no point in creating a car that's too small if it compromises the experience. It's a line of thinking that could yield positive results in the long run. Another positive consequence of a size similar to the Model Y is the familiar handling. Drivers accustomed to mid-size SUVs will feel less unfamiliar when switching to the Model 2, making the transition to electric a smoother one. This could be crucial in markets where there's still resistance to abandoning combustion engines. By offering something that's not scary in its form factor, Tesla could win over buyers who previously wouldn't even consider an EV. And there's also the psychological factor. A more imposing car, even an entry-level one, conveys a sense of value. Consumers look at it and think, "That doesn't look cheap." This perception may be the key to choosing the Model 2 over other, more compact electric vehicles. It's not just about physical space, but also street presence, which greatly influences the purchasing decision. At the heart of this project, the battery will be one of the most talked about elements. The Model 2 is expected to come equipped with a 53 kWh LFP pack, a choice that balances cost, durability, and safety. It won't be the kind of battery that breaks range records, but it will be more than enough to meet the target audience: people who use the car for everyday use, urban commutes, and some short trips. The RWD version is estimated to reach between 220 and 240 miles of range, while the AWD, with all-wheel drive, will reach up to 300 miles. Of course, always considering ideal conditions, because in the real world, range always fluctuates a bit. The choice of LFP isn't random. This technology's strength lies in its robustness, withstanding thousands of charge cycles without losing much capacity. This means that, in practice, Model 2 owners can charge and discharge the car repeatedly without worrying about rapid degradation. Furthermore, LFP has a significantly lower cost per kWh compared to NMC batteries, which fits perfectly with the philosophy of a car that was born to be affordable. It's like cutting calories without losing flavor, keeping what matters and eliminating what weighs on your wallet. Another benefit that can't be ignored is safety. LFP batteries have a lower risk of overheating and fire, a significant consideration for consumers still wary of electric vehicles. And when it comes to an entry-level car, this added safety can be a differentiator that helps convince new buyers to make the leap to electric mobility. After all, no one wants to take risks, especially with a product that promises to be a gateway vehicle for the brand. When it comes to recharging, the Model 2 promises to have competitive times, taking advantage of the LFP's efficiency combined with an optimized thermal management system. While not the fastest in the Tesla lineup, The expectation is that the car can recover a good portion of its range in less than 30 minutes at superchargers. For daily use, this is more than enough. And for commutes, it means short stops, which maintains the pace without major interruptions. The fact that there won't be a performance version at launch is a clear sign that Tesla is focused on the essentials. It doesn't make sense to offer supercar-like acceleration in a model that aims to be affordable and functional. Still, the AWD version will offer respectable performance, ensuring livelier acceleration and extra safety in adverse weather. It's the choice that makes the car more versatile without turning it into an expensive toy. Model 2 production is expected to officially begin in the second half of 2025, but the first steps have already been taken since June, with prototypes assembled at the Fremont factory. Choosing this plant is no coincidence. It already produces the Model Y, and sharing the assembly line will reduce costs and speed up the process. It's a typical move by Tesla, which prefers to optimize what already exists rather than spend billions creating something from scratch. And in this case, every saving in the manufacturing process can translate into a few dollars less in the final price of the car. This strategy also reveals the brand's urgency. Tesla needs to bring the Model 2 to market before its competitors consolidate their dominance in the entry-level segment. Companies like BYD already offer electric models for around $13,000, and that kind of price tag is starting to create real pressure on Tesla. Elon Musk knows that if he waits too long, he risks losing ground in a market he himself helped to drive. Therefore, launching the car at the end of the year carries strategic weight. It's the ideal time to boost sales figures and positively impact the stock price. The announced price of $15,999, while surprising, is the result of a calculated combination of product cuts, simplified production, and volume. The more cars rolled off the line, the lower the cost per unit. And with a model that promises to sell in large numbers, Tesla can finally operate in the high-volume segment without sacrificing margins as much. It's a risky move because it requires the company to quickly adjust production rates, avoiding bottlenecks that could delay deliveries. Another important point is that the launch of the Model 2 could mark a shift in Tesla's consumer profile. Until now, the brand has primarily attracted middle to upper-income buyers willing to pay a premium for technology and distinctive design. With the new model, the base could expand to a wider audience, who may never have considered buying a Tesla before. This could bring huge volume gains, but it will also require the company to prepare to serve customers with different expectations and needs. Interestingly, even though it's an entry-level model, the Model 2 is expected to maintain some of the Tesla experience philosophy. From the centralized infotainment system to compatibility with over-the-air updates, the idea is for owners to continue feeling like they have a modern, connected, and constantly evolving product. This is likely to be the key element in retaining new customers, converting them into future buyers of more expensive models. One of the biggest challenges of this move will be dealing with the impact of the end of the $7,500 federal credit for electric vehicles in the United States. This measure, which until recently helped make Teslas more competitive in consumer budgets, will not be available for the Model 2. This means the $15,990 price will have to sustain itself without this discount that served as a decisive nudge at the time of purchase. For many manufacturers, this would be a huge obstacle, but Tesla appears willing to absorb some of this impact and compensate at scale. The problem is that this trade-off isn't simple. Producing a car at this price requires almost surgical cost control, and any unexpected variation, whether in the price of raw materials or logistics, can quickly erode margins. That's why Elon Musk and his team are betting heavily on simplification, platform repurposing, and optimization of existing processes. Every detail that can be standardized or produced in-house helps maintain the promise of affordable pricing. This situation also raises an interesting point. The Model 2 won't just be a sales driver, but a kind of thermometer to gauge the public's reaction to a more down-to-earth Tesla. Will consumers, without the tax incentive, still see enough value in it to invest in an entry-level Tesla? Or will the brand need to adjust the package with slightly more equipped versions to justify the investment? These are questions that will only be answered when the car actually hits dealerships. On the positive side, this pressure could even accelerate internal innovation. To maintain its attractiveness without relying on incentives, Tesla will have to increasingly explore production efficiency, vertical integration, and even potential strategic partnerships. We may even see an increase in the use of recycled materials, or more aggressive component reuse techniques to reduce costs without compromising quality. This approach has already been tested in other models, and nothing prevents it from being applied on a large scale here. The end of credit also reinforces the importance of launch timing. With the market becoming increasingly competitive, a delay of even a few months could mean losing ground to competitors that don't rely on government incentives to keep prices low. BYD, MG, and other Chinese brands have already shown that it's possible to operate with tight margins while still delivering attractive products. And it's precisely this scenario that puts pressure on Tesla to act quickly. In this context, the Model 2 becomes almost a survival move in the entry-level segment. While the Model 2 is paving the way for the entry-level segment, another Tesla project is taking shape and promises to make an impact in a completely different sector: heavy-duty transportation. The Tesla Semi Gen 2 is expected to feature a list of improvements that, if confirmed, could redefine how we view electric trucks. Expected features include an improved aerodynamic package, which will reduce the drag coefficient to around 0.36, a new mirror design, and so-called drop glass, designed to facilitate operations in ports and cargo areas. Additionally, there's the addition of a sleeper cab, a feature long awaited by long-haul drivers that will expand the vehicle's operational range. At the heart of these changes will be the adoption of the high-efficiency 4680 battery, which will provide more energy per kilogram, lower production costs, and an estimated 7% gain in overall efficiency. Interestingly, even with a smaller energy pack than the initial prototypes, the Semi Gen 2 is expected to maintain the same range, thanks precisely to this set of technical improvements. This means more payload, less weight, and a lower cost per kilometer, a combination that logistics companies will be closely analyzing. Another point that could elevate the Semi Gen 2 to a new level is the presence of a supervised full self-driving system. The proposal is bold, allowing the truck to operate almost continuously, with the driver acting more as a supervisor than an active driver. In theory, this could reduce fatigue, increase safety, and even cut operating costs by optimizing vehicle utilization. Of course, this implementation will spark intense discussions about regulation, safety, and the impact on the job market. But Elon Musk seems willing to take the risk. The design should also reflect this futuristic vision. The integration of a new headlight assembly with a front LED bar will give the Semi Gen 2 a more modern look, bringing it closer to the style adopted in other Tesla models. The sleeper cab, in addition to offering comfort on long trips, could become a decisive selling point for companies that need to keep trucks running for days at a time. It's a feature that combines technology and practicality in a single package. The Semi's ergonomics and visibility will also receive special attention. The drop glass promises to solve a simple but critical problem: the difficulty of direct interaction during loading and unloading operations due to the driver's elevated position and enclosed cabin. With this solution, tasks such as passing documents through security booths or checking loads can be performed without complicated maneuvers. It's a detail that shows Tesla is listening to feedback from real-world use. If the Tesla Semi Gen 2 seems like a bold leap into heavy-duty transportation, Optimus, Tesla's humanoid robot, is practically a headfirst dive into the future of automation. Elon Musk has been promoting the idea that Optimus will go far beyond a home assistant that performs simple tasks. It could take on critical functions in Tesla's own factories, working side by side with humans, but with the endurance and precision of a machine that doesn't tire or make mistakes due to distraction. Imagine production lines where, instead of fixed conveyor belts and stations, dozens or even hundreds of Optimuses move, adapting to different tasks as needed, all with instant software updates. This scenario isn't just futuristic fiction. Musk's goal is to drastically reduce production costs and speed up the assembly of models like the Model 2 itself. By replacing repetitive and arduous tasks, Optimus would free up humans for more creative and supervisory roles. This, combined with the automation already present in gigafactories, could result in a production chain that operates with almost surgical efficiency. And most curiously, Optimus could, in theory, be reallocated to other areas of the company or even sold to third parties when it's no longer needed on the assembly line. But the applications don't stop there. In environments such as distribution centers or even in outdoor operations,